is Fez Kareem, and you are watching InfoHub. We are living in an age of rapid technological advancement, with knowledge advancing more and more rapidly. You think that man knows everything about his surroundings. However, this is not always the case. Scientists are not only unable to answer common questions, but are constantly changing new data that refutes previous theories and hypotheses. We will mention 5 good questions that scientists cannot answer yet. Let's move on to these questions. So, the first question arises: where does consciousness come from? At least once in our life, everyone asks themselves, why am I? How did I come to my senses? In psychology, this is often called self awareness. So, what's the consciousness? Our brain, a part of it, or something else? The neuroscientist Christoph Koch and his team of researchers believe that they need to make progress in understanding the problem. He concluded that consciousness often arises inside the column which is a part of a brain. The result of the study were published in the journal Nature. However, many scientists are concerned about the code's finding, and it's too early to say whether the source of consciousness has been found. Many scientists believe that the consciousness human brain may be a combination of brain functions. Something related to the nervous system allows an individual to know and appreciate the world around him. And the role of people is made up of supporting education and environmental factors, economic resources, emotional background in the family, etc., which makes the concept of the planet unique to everyone. But immediately, there is no confirmed speculation about what is the internally conscious. It is also not understood which region of the brain are responsible for its formation and function. The second question arises: what awaits us after death? Sooner or later, each folks wonder what is going to happen once we are dead. Recently, neuroscientists made a discovery that provides them the chance to answer these questions from a scientific perspective. They obtained interesting leads to experiment with people that are on the verge of death. The scientists recorded a really strong electrical activity within the brain in each of them after the acetol, followed by the shortage of oxygen within the brain. Of course, this has an explanation. Thanks to the shortage of oxygen, neurons lose their ability to take care of their electrical potential and discharge themselves, emitting an avalanche of electrical impulses. But it's possible that these results, and therefore the statement by Professor Stuart Hemroff, the Department of Anesthesiology and Psychology at the University of Arizona, will give us the chance to answer this question within near future. The essence of this discovery is that an individual's consciousness does not disappear without a trace after death. It's literally absorbed into the structure of the universe. It's assumed that the mechanism for completing this process is made into our systema nervosum. Now, the most awaited question: does God exist? Many people think that this question depends only without checking. But what do scientists think? British researcher Martin John Rees has officially declared that the newest scientific findings have led him to believe that we should always stop seeing the planet from an aesthetic point of view. Rees explained his position: does God exist? This is often the sole thanks to explain the looks of the primary genital system. The fourth question: do ghosts exist? Many folks love mystical stories, but they provide us an adrenaline rush and convey an inexplicable dimension into our lives. But are ghosts real? Scientists have yet to seek out any evidence that demonstrate the existence of ghosts and explains all mystical stories and events with different psychomatic and neurological mechanism. Our conscience sometimes deceives us about what we see and smell. Finally, the last question: when and the way did the moon form? A new hypothesis about the formation of the moon claims that the Earth's satellite formed during a synestia, a cloud of gas and molten rock. This hypothesis was developed by scientists at the School of California and Harvard, supported the results of theoretical modeling. The existence of a synestia as a replacement species of planetary bodies was suggested in 2017 by American physicists Simon Locke and Sarah Stewart. The new work explained the characteristics of the Moon which so far were difficult to know. Chemically, the Moon is nearly just like the world, but with a couple of differences. This is often the primary model at which will adapt to the compositional model of the Moon, said Sarah Stewart, professor of planetary science at the University of California. Davis scientists assume the planet can exist as a synestia for several hundred years, after which they start to assume a spherical shape, but it also can happen the other celestial bodies form in them.